Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today now the new discussion on the Ramcharitmanas caste politics and Bharat. Now we have been just observing in Bharat there is new controversy created by some politician of Samajwadi Party and RJD of Bihar, Mr. Chandrasekhar. Swami Prasad Maurya has been the different party. Now he is in Samajwadi Party General Secretary and just backward class leader. It is said, I don't believe in the caste, but we're discussing with the caste politics. And Mr. Chandrasekhar is also backward class. Just he already last 7 days back, he already just spoke at Nalanda Open University just to tell about the how and why just about the Ramcharitmanas. And what the remark was there, the remark he was uh, created a controversy. And accordingly, what he has said, just the Manas versus Ramayana, political connotations, and deep political debates. So Chandrasekhar, but Tejo Yadav, not any dishonor actually. Some demand already created, just he should be ousted from the cabinet. But till today, he is in cabinet. So we can understand the politics of the such parties in Bharat. And the reaction, just as well as the Samajwadi Party, we have seen how he have been just I am Shudras. But those who are advocating Shudras and all, literally, they have not read the Who is Shudra by Mr. Dr. Ambedkar. So there is so many things. So do you think just in Bharat the politics will be just will be now completely abolished from the politics? I don't think so. So we'll discuss on the Ramcharitmanas, the Sanatan Hindu Granth, already demanded by the new Dharam Guru, just newly just owned and literally followed by the millions of people, Dhirendra Shastri. So that this Ramcharitmanas will be declared the national Granth and national religious book. So we'll discuss on all the issues. Vandana Jhinganji, senior journalist from Chicago, America, and Alok Laharji from the Spain, Europe. So start from the Vandanaji. Just what do you think about this Ramcharitmanas controversy? That is already. Do you think this is another attack on Hinduism? One, this is already the divide the Hindu society in the again to the caste politics that those who are coming under one roof, just forgetting the all anomalies. And third, do you think without caste politics we can't live in this democracy?
Namaskar to all our viewers, and we are indeed honored itself to start this back because this has been asked by many people, when are you starting? So there was some gap. Thank you, Kumar Rakesh ji and Alok ji, and to all the viewers. Every minute when you get up in the morning and you turn your television set on about the news of Bharat, before even turning it on, the mind comes, what will be happening there today? Which is an irony. I mean, there are so much positive things happening that is not being talked about. Who are these Maurya, Paurya, Mandal, Kamandal, and the other person who's from Bihar to comment on Ramcharitmanas? If we call, means it's the nation, which is a secular nation. I mean, and I always say, is it really secular? I don't see that, to be honest. Every time you pick up a subject that is targeting to Sanatani faith, to our Hindu faith, what about the others? Don't they see? Because a few months back, there was a controversy which was started in the television itself, like on a debate on one of the channels. I think it was Times Now, about Nupur and the other person. And what happened? What is the fate? So, Kumar Rakesh ji, when we talk about this Ramcharitmanas, and this is in the Pancham Sopan, Sundarkand, which before I started this panel discussion, I just finished my Sundarkand, to be honest. I've been reciting Sundarkand since I was 12 or 13 years old. If an elected official, means he's right now not elected, they can humiliate one sect of a society, there needs to be a severe punishment. You cannot just on a paper and do FIR and let it go and wait for, and then. So either in Bharat they need to change the amendments in the constitution, the punishment and all, so others should not be. And I always say, every individual, because I think Thor, Gawar, Shudra, Pasunari, ye sab Tadan ke adhikari, on this they started it. So Baba Tulsidas ji, I think that he was visionary. He saw that what is coming in future. That's why he meant for that. Tadana means keep it.
I'll give you some input on that after finishing your inputs.
Keeping an eye on these kind of people, because they are without leash. They need to be kept on leash, to be honest. Every individual is a Brahman. Every individual is a Kshatriya, because when it comes to, you take, like, all these varnas are within us. Don't you go and buy things and do bargaining. Oh, can you give it to me? So then you become a Vashya. Don't you clean your own table? So you become a Shudra. I mean, these are very simple, very simple. And this thing cannot go into that, because this is not for their benefit. And I will give it back to you. We will continue. Sorry, I took a little longer.
No, no problem. Just you're talking about the Tulsi Das, Dhol Gawar Shuddha Prashnari. There is just I'm telling you some facts. That is a very interesting facts. Just how the mention about the Tulsi Das in Ramcharitmanas. So Pandit Ram Bhadracharya, he is basically a blind person, but what he has written, and he is a Pithadeshwar of Chitrakoot, and he has mentioned the things. There are 10902 the verses in the Ramcharitmanas, and more than 500 years already done. And the Chitrakoot Tulsi Dham Pithadeshwar and the Biklang University, he is a vice chancellor, and being just blind by birth, he has written many books on the grammars and the just Sanskrit, and many. And according to his research, with all disciples, he has won so many gold medals. This really a miracle on the earth. So he said uh, there are 1092 10,902 the verses in the Tulsi Ramcharitmanas. There is only one. He just criticized by so different so-called leaders. And according to him, what it was written in original in Avadi script. So that was translated in Hindi and others. So in the translation, they may be the politics by such person, or who may be Hindu, as I think. And he claimed, according to Rambhadracharya, there is so many more than 3,000 the mistakes. I think maybe the in the I think in translation and whatever. So according to Dhol Gamar, Shodar Pasunari is not the actual word. According to him, Dhol Gamar, okay, Chubd Pashu. That animal, though the derail, just not uncontrolled, not a Shudra, not a caste line, talking about the animals only. And a rar, not nari, nari means not woman, That is, Rad is just who create the all major problems, whoever concerned. There are four words: dhol, gamar, shrut, pasnari. So dhol is just the musical things. Gamar is just foolish person who couldn't understand anything, mindless person. And just that animals, just you can say the mindless animals, the not control one, not the pet one. And Radi means just who are only believing in the quarrel and only just negative people in other form. So this is a real meaning. As I think, whatever about the Vedic and the Puran and Upanishad, these are already defined accordingly. So this is actual meaning. But you will see that nobody is trying to quote Swami Ramadracharya. That already he is acclaimed by the world, so many scholars. So these are real picture. But accordingly, Alokji, how just you analyze the complete political scenario as well as social scenario and Bharat? Just unmute yourself, Alokji.
Good evening to everybody. I'm kind of surprised, these kind of things, they keep coming up again and again. And if it is not Ramcharitramanas, it could be, Manusmriti or some other book or some text. And what they do is they take out a selective piece and then they, beat it to death. But it doesn't die. Then they resuscitate it, like it comes back again after a few years. Whereas if we are talking about Ramcharitramanas, I mean, it is very strange that if we're talking of Ramcharitramanas and we see that one verse is great, it has been selected to make it into a political, you start off a political divide on the basis of vote politics. That is where the whole problem starts. Very few people would remember that when Tulsidas ji had written this book, Ramcharitramanas, it was not accepted in the society. I mean, if we are analyzing Ramayana or Ramcharitramanas, because the story is the same, one is, we are talking about the real life of Lord Ram. And in the second book, we're talking about his Charitra. That is the only, he's highlighted the Charitra. But the language is Sanskrit to, let's say, Avdi. Now, what happens is, when Tulsidas ji wrote that book and it became very popular, his purpose of writing it was so that more and more people could understand and listen to this, this divine life, which many people in Sanskrit could not have understood. So actually, he was trying to reach the people who were not allowed or who could not read or study Sanskrit. That is one thing. So his basic purpose, like there was Brahmins in Varanasi who went and even, beat him up, that how come he, took a holy text like the Ramayana and then converted it into, something so vulgar. Because in those days, you could only talk about the divine things in Sanskrit. Now, they are not going to highlight this. They're also not going to highlight that in Ramayana or Ramcharitramanas, Raja Ram, if we're talking about the caste politics, I think caste politics came in very late in India, or caste system came in very late in India, which, if you allow me the time, I'll explain it a bit. I mean, it's very strange. First of all, just see who is the villain in the whole story. The villain in the story is a Brahmin. Ravan is a Brahmin by caste. And a very interesting thing is that Raja Ram, who's a Kshatriya, he goes and kills a Brahmin.
Yeah.
Not only this, he leaves his wife just because a washerman or a dhobi makes some kind of untoward comments towards. You have to keep that in mind. But what they do is they'll take some selective verbs as if these kind of things have not existed in other religious literature. I mean, not to go too far away, if we just see the Ten Commandments, in Ten Commandments, the word slave has been used twice. And we did not have any kind of slavery in India where you could buy and sell people like they were done in the Western culture. I mean, that is my submission to what you asked me.
No, no. That is already just the slave culture is not the part of Sanatan Hindu culture, as I think, and just you are talking about that. So that is already in the Islamic culture, and already found in the so many Middle East countries and the Islamic countries. So there is time of break. After break, I will come to you. I'll take the note of Vandanaji. Welcome the break. Just we're discussing about the Ramcharitmanas, caste politics, and Bharat. So, Vandanaji, just we have just already discussed about the reality of Ramcharitmanas, whatever thoughts, inputs in that, and how just Alokji also analyzed the caste system and that time to caste how was written by the I think Mahasi Balmiki and Tulsidas, and I think Ramayana has been written by the I think more than 40 I think religious leader in different way. Whatever they found in south, you find a different Ramayana. In the north, you find the different Ramayana. But crux is same. There's no change of character. So just in the main of politics, just you have seen the both politics and the USA politics and the Bharat politics. Do you think there is any caste politics in USA, just like comparative to Bharat?
Um, Namaskar again. So, you asked me a question about the caste because the way it has been, like the polarization, the way it has been happening now with this recent politicians, I think this is going way too far beyond, to be honest. Anything which is shining, we are just seeing becomes a controversy because there are people, those who keep setting up a narrative, and then you see the outcome of it. There is so much good. I previously also said so much good is happening. How and when we were 7 billion and we are touching to be 8 billion now, I mean, like, I mean, in the span of 6 to 7, and how much was the population versus the resources? Are we talking about that? No, nobody is concerned about that. No matter how many summits do we have and this and that, to be honest, it's a balance on. So what do people do when you have so many useless people like Mr. Maurya who has nothing to do and to contribute? I mean, I'm just taking the name because this is a very
Yeah,
big irony.
yeah, yeah,
When we
yeah,
talking, when you talk, Alokji, about the place that we all used to say, Ulta Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh is now becoming Uttam Pradesh, that we have seen the response they have got when they came only for 2 weeks outside Uttar Pradesh. Even it was not the CM because the delivery, we're not talking about that. They are all busy in criticizing. What about our faith? Nobody, like, this has deeply hurt me and my mother. If something happens to who will be responsible? So now
yeah.
it is not the time for the government. If you cannot, because my faith should also be respected equally if we are talking about the faith, Abrahamic faiths, to be honest. What is the minority and majority and stuff like that? We'll keep it because this is for the sake of the elections. We are very close to 2024. We are seeing how they are trying to set up that. They just pick up one subject and they start working on nothing comes out of it. We recently saw what happened in this BBC documentary,
Yeah,
and people were talking about that we should have, like, petitions. I said India is not right now in this means mindset to have petitions. India is very strong nation. They should, like, get them on across the table, file a very big lawsuit because we in nothing can be hidden in today's time. You could see When Rahul Gandhi visited Oxford very recently, and then this is like, this is what about my nation? And there are so many people, those who talked about the budget, they say, oh, from tomorrow onwards, we will start seeing there will be bahishkar of parliament, like, they will keep talking, ye ho gaya, ye ho gaya, ye ho gaya. Nobody will be talking what is good. The train system that we just see that how it has been improved. And your question, what we left in Bharat, we have just started seeing it here also. I
So
mean,
just my question
yeah,
concerned the comparative US,
yeah, that's what I'm
US
saying.
politics and
Yeah,
India foreign politics.
because
Yeah.
what is the Black Life Matters? Because this itself is because on the name of that person, they raised millions of dollars. So, where is that money? Did the family got the benefit? So you make some narrative. There is like a Me Too narrative, and then like ice bucket. But what are we doing to uplift the community? Are we talking about that? When it comes to Ramcharitmanas, Mr. Maurya should know. Shabri was always said as Ma Shabri. We never
Yeah.
even talked about caste. So I think he is good for nothing. That's why he's been talking like that. Thank you so very much.
So I just okay. So just I was also just trying to know the. I think there is no. I think you do you think there is no caste politics in the US?
No, no, no,
Okay,
no.
thank you. So Alokji, same question. Just the caste politics in the Spain. I just you compare it to Bharat one. If any, in different type of I think politics as there. So one, and do you think the caste politics will be just in the Bharat with these of politicians?
Okay, now caste politics is not theirs per se, like Vannaji said, but we invent our own caste. For example, in USA, we have the black politics.
Yeah,
That's very much there, and similar kind. Like for example, the place where I'm living in, we have a language divide, which is like rest of the Spain, it speaks Spanish. Here it is Catalan. So this is something very similar to what we have in Tamil Nadu, that we will not speak the majority language because it is being imposed on us. So human society, in the same kind of structuring, we behave in similar manner. But what I want to tell you is that in ancient India, caste did not exist. I mean, had they existed, like I when I was talking about Ramayana, we didn't talk. I didn't talk about Jabri Mata, and that all obviously shows. And even if we go on to Mahabharata, we know that Dasiputra is Vidur. So all these kind of things were happening. Now it's very strange that we keep using the word caste, and very few people know where it comes from. Actually, this whole caste system, which we see today, it comes from the Portuguese invasion of India. So once they landed up there, the priest, they wanted to understand what the social divisions were there or how it worked in India. So our social divisions were basically very specialized professions. I mean, if you go deeply into the caste system, it is more or less related to a job a person was doing. Let's say if I say Bajaj, so it's obviously means that this person is dealing with clothes. So similarly, all the castes in some way we have forgotten this because nobody as an actually cared about it. So people knew what
your voice has become
kind of person.
low. Alok, your
And
voice is become
we've
low.
had these kind of things in other societies as well. Like for example, there is a surname in the United States it's called Cooper. Cooper is a Tatera, or they say a Smith. So a blacksmith or a shoesmith or something like this. So these professions were actually which became caste later on. But the word caste comes from Portuguese and it means pure. But there's nothing pure about it. That's what he understood. The idea was that he thought that you could not change from one profession to another. This set of priests who were there, they thought it like that. And then
Okay.
when the British come, they started using the same word translated casto. Casto means pure. like which cannot be changed. And from custom, it becomes caste, and which they made the schedules where the castes were written down and everything. Before that, no other king did it. And we, in our history, we've had, Barbars as the king and one of the most powerful kings, one of the most powerful dynasties in India. We're not talking religion. They came from Nanda dynasty, is actually a Native, which obviously means that they were nice or the Barbars. So in case they had come up to such a level that they were destined, destined, who were ruling class. If they were ruling class and they were the most powerful kings in those days, that even Alexander the Great, he when he saw the military of the Nandas, he was kind of scared. So we come down to this, and we are still pushing that ideology of the West, the colonizing ideology of the West of divide and rule. We are still dividing our people. Then it was right because they were the invading force, but you don't divide your own people. It is so unfortunate that our leaders, till date, are dividing our own people in the name of caste. It could be in the name of language. It could be in the name of color now. The Dravidas and the Aryas, and the Aryas are different. So this is my summation. I think they don't have anything. There is so much development, and there is so much that the current government is doing. They don't see any corruption. They don't see any problem anywhere. So they have to invent a new problem. So they go and look for things which have, like the hijab controversy started off. When in Saudi Arabia, women are fighting, or in Iran, women are fighting to get away with the hijab. You get a TikToker who comes up and says that I want to wear a hijab. These are controversies which are created so that there is some trouble for the government. There is hardly any trouble for this government because these are fringe
Okay.
elements, and this is fringe politics. I think mainstream has understood that caste doesn't stand anywhere now.
But just recently, after the SP, BJP, and others party controversy in Bharat, the Mayawati leader of the BSP already based on the caste politics, they rose just like anything. So, Vandanaji, just she has just blamed the BJP for the narrow political and electoral interest, spreading ethnic and religious hatred, creating hysteria, religious conversion. So that how do you think the same political the BJP and SP is same according to Mayawati? So how just you to think on that? This is it's just a very 1 minute comment on that. Whatever Mayawati narrated about the at least the SP and BJP are same. Just Alokji, this also I'll take answer. We have only I think less than 2 minutes we have. So less than 1 minute will take from each of you, whatever the blame by, I'm repeating the question. She has blamed the Mayawati BSP leader on the Ramcharit Manas controversy. BJP has identity of the new controversy, narrow political electoral interest is spreading ethnic and religious hatred, creating hysteria, religious conversion. So this is a BJP political identity. So BSP is also same like that. What do you think, Vandanaji? Then I'll same question. I'll take answer from Alokji.
I am not going to take her seriously, to be very honest. Her credibility has been known to the world. I'm very means not. I'm not ashamed to say that, because when it was about the Ram Janambhoomi, हम मंदिर तो बनाएंगे, डेट नहीं बताएंगे. अभी they have announced the date also. We are seeing how the construction is going on, and if in today's time these elected officials should remember what they have said yesterday can be brought to their face and can shown. It is not a newspaper clipping which Kumar Rakesh has to put his 10 people in the staff to find out that this went, because everything has been digitalized and can be shown. So she
Yeah.
should look into it, what she has already said before, where she stands today. I think this is a time that people of Bharat should realize who the true leaders are, what they are delivering, and that will be for the interest of that nation. Because I am just going to quote one book here, Snakes in Ganga. So that
Yeah.
is a book by our own Rajiv Malhotraji. So,
Yeah.
we are more worried about the people within the nation, those who are, yeah, those who are damaging. And this is, I just recommend everyone. It is
Yeah,
not, you can just read the experts about it and
yeah.
you will definitely agree with it. This is a very tough time for India because all the eyes are on India and India cannot be ignored. But if we don't take care of these kind of people, because we move 10 steps ahead, they pull us 6 back. So then we are just 4 ahead only. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alokji, very quick, actually, just less than minutes we have. Yeah,
So what has happened is that earlier we were working on language politics. We have seen that in Tamil Nadu. Then there was this minority politics, and then another step further was the Dalit politics. Now, once this concept comes that you are going to join the majority, and once majority joins together, which is happening in India, then what happens is that this concept of minority politics and or the Dalit politics, it just goes away, because the ethos of the majority is that we are together and we have to stick together in case this country has to survive. Now that has seeped in. If it has not seeped in into certain people or who are still trying to divide the majority, is because their vote politics is coming to an end. And not only that, unki dukaan band ho rahi hai, as we say it in Hindi. So they don't know where to go. If Mayawati was not to beat the dead dog of casteism and caste politics, or this gentleman Maurya, if he doesn't do, he will not come back to the Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha or wherever. He will not win elections because that has been his only prank. I mean, that's how he was. Has he done something to the society for which he should be put, as a leader, or he should even be considered a leader? Or for that matter, Mayawati should be considered a leader. They have just done one thing, and that is segregated the society, the Indian society, in the name of a caste or a religion, and they still want to keep beating that dead dog. Now, that politics is going to end. They'll have to look for new methods, because once the majority votes unite, once the Hindus are united, then all these kind of dividing politics is not going to work. And I think the future is with the majority, the united majority, and with progress, which is the only slogan which the current government is saying, "Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas." And the Vikas, it is showing not only in India, it is showing internationally. The image of India has changed internationally. Vandana ji would agree with me on that as well. And lots of people in Europe and in the United States are not liking this change in India. The way उनका जो स्वर बदल गया है, हमारे फॉरेन मिनिस्टर को आप देखिए, उनका जो स्वर बदल गया है, they are not liking it.
yeah,
They are still with that colonial I'm unable to pronounce
mindset.
that word, colonial mindset. They're
Yeah.
not coming out of it.
What just BBC trying to do it, but they could not succeed. Whatever they have just tried to present the picture, accept some facts. So actually, just you are right, and Vandana is also right. Whatever the
Bharat
dividing the
is going to be hosting G20.
yeah,
Just imagine. And
yeah,
Bharat, the Prime Minister Modi has got an invite from President Biden to be the state guest.
yeah.
So yeah, and I'm just seeing it in the news today. They had a ranking. Modi ji is number 1
Not
and
number
Biden
one,
is
right? Yeah,
number 6.
global approval rating. Yeah, yeah.
And Biden is number 6. So India cannot be ignored, but we have to be careful about the people like this Maurya Mandal, Kamandal and all.
Whatever is next in Ganga, one line, just you have seen, just said.
Exactly.
So
The title of the book says it all.
yeah, says it all. So nice of you, and just we'll continue now with all the blessings of our karmas, and we'll continue from today. So thank you very much, and I think that the negative politics could not be sustained in any way, any part of the world, as we believe in the Vasudev Kutumbakam. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.